Hey, what's up guys? How's it going? Today we're going to go over how to draw a tribal skull. And really quick from the sponsor, we have the armadillo. Armadillo is a wristband that you can kind of put your pencils into. And, or markers. And you can actually strap this to your arm. Also straps to a sketchbook. And it also has a magnetic surface you can stick to kind of like chairs and posts when you need it. And it'll always be there. Anywho, enough of that. That's the sponsor stuff. Let's get into it. Let's draw a tribal skull. So for the tribal skull, we're going to need two things. We're going to need, what I'm going to use is, I'm going to use a pencil. Pencil don't matter. Just want something that'll fall into the background to kind of trace out the proportions. And then I'm going to use this thin permanent marker I got from Office Depot. The only thing different about this is it's pretty thin. Has a tapering tip at the end. Because I feel like that's easier for me. So, let's get into it. This is going to be pretty basic. I hope it'll be pretty basic. I'm going to start with a circle shape. And when I'm designing the skull, I'm gonna really think about even shapes. Not even, I'm sorry. It's going to be about the big shapes that pop out on the skull, really, that identify it as a skull, is usually the zygomatic arch, and that is basically the cheekbone. That is the cheekbone. And on this one, it's a little difficult because you're gonna have to, whatever you do on one side, you're gonna have to try to mirror on the other. I'll try to make it a little, I'm gonna cheat it, and I'll give you like a cheat. I'm gonna actually try to make it uneven because I don't want to have to try to mirror it. Otherwise, I should have just done this on computer. So I'm gonna maybe give him his eyes here, his eye sockets, kind of a little expression, but I'm gonna purposely make one of them different, like uneven. Because the reason I do that, I hope you can see this by the way, because this is just very lightly tracing out the image for myself, so to get proportion down. The reason I make it purposely uneven, like he's making an expression that's not a mirror pose there, not mirrored, is because when you do a mirrored image, it'll look like you're going for that mirrored image, right? And you just fucked it up, like I'm not a machine. Nobody is. It's really hard. I don't know. I'm sure some guys are really good at it, but I'm not. So I can't. Honestly, it's gonna be really hard for me to mirror, and I don't want to mirror. I think it's kind of boring because once I do one side of it, I'm gonna have to be like, okay, now I have to mirror the whole thing on this side. That's boring. I would do it on computer if that was the case. Since we're doing traditional, they won't say like, oh, he messed up. It's like, oh, it's supposed to be uneven. It's a cheat. It's a cheat, guys. On the top here, I'm over here with the nose, the nasal socket here. Hopefully you can see all this. And now I'm going to be drawing the shapes. I'm probably going to do it on one side first. Tribal shapes, especially when you're designing your own, try to keep it consistent. You kind of have. See, I've already kind of doing that waviness to it. Because I'm doing that, I want to keep it consistent and keep it all wavy. That's called having a design language throughout the thing. It's all part of the same design. And right here, I'm more or less kind of just free-forming it. It's like stream of consciousness. I'm just randomly putting these shapes down, but I'm trying to make stuff. I'm very careful not to make two of these spines here that I'm drawing too even. If they're too even, then I don't know. It just doesn't. It's not designed well. You want to vary it up. One large, one big, one large, one big, maybe. So that's one side. I'm deciding whether I want to mirror it or not, because all that's going to be a pain in the ass to mirror over here, right? Again, I should have just done it on the computer. I'm going to mirror some parts of it, but not all of it. Yeah, I guess I'm going to try to mirror it. We'll see. And it's going to be off, because I'm not good. I can measure it really, really well, but this is a demo. That's not what it's for. It's okay. I got some shapes down that I got some to work with. I have an underlay. Now it's time to go in with the marker. And I'm gonna go right into the eyes first. So let me see, hopefully that comes out on camera there. There you go. Checking it out. I'm fill in that shape. When I'm using this marker, I'm trying to pull my strokes, especially on the outer lines, I'm trying to pull my strokes pretty quick. Because if you kind of linger, and I know everybody knows this, if you linger, it's going to soak into the paper, you know? It'll get this like blotchiness that's not so great. Alright, tracing the outside here. Oops, messed up there. Let's see. Trying to pull a thinner line right here where, you know, scrunchiness happens in his eyes, the brow. Pulling thinner lines for that. Oops, came out of the line there a little bit. And fix that by moving the whole line. Going over the nasal cavity. And it's good working with marker, you know, it's very like, in the beginning it's scary because you're like, wow, I am totally gonna, if I fuck up, if I mess up, I'm gonna be in there forever. But over time, you don't even think about that. You just think about getting stuff done, and you'd be very surprised what kind of errors you can fix, even with marker. A lot of that is practice, you know, and I don't want to sound like everybody else on the internet, but yeah, it's just practicing with that certain tool, you know. These teeth, I'm gonna go very thin, very fast. Try not even to think twice about them. Oops, see, I messed that up there. Try not to think twice. If I think twice, I'm gonna fuck up. I'm gonna mess up. Sorry for the bad language. You guys are adults, right? Most of you guys? Tracing some of the outer lines over here. Trying to refine some of that point as much as I can. Yeah, point at the end of these things. Hard to do that with a big marker like this. Leaving a little crack in there on purpose. Want to see if that adds to anything. Maybe it looks like overlapping, maybe it doesn't. Pulling that, and then there's this little bump. Doesn't occur over here. That's kind of already uneven, but we're drawing this. We're doing it by hand, so it's different. Like I mostly do a lot of these things on computer now, but for myself and my sketchbook, I'll still do it like this, you know. If it's a job, I will do it. Actually, do a sketchbook. Do a sketch like this in my sketchbook, then convert it over to Illustrator or something like that. If it's this solid, solid like it's not like a it's not like a painterly drawing. It's a very graphic image. I'm toying with shapes that are there already. I want some of these shapes to have like a one directional flow, They're all going the same direction. Almost like water would, is running along another shape, if that makes sense and isn't too isn't too metaphorical. Sorry I'm being quiet, I'm just kind of thinking. I might time lapse this part because I'm having to think very strongly about certain things. This is a good example. I made that shape smaller than this shape because it just I feel personally that it looks better smaller. It wouldn't be the same exact size. Alright, here's a good thing right here. I'm definitely at a point where I'm sketching this, and now all I'm doing is copying one side to the other, you know? So I'm just going to make it as close as I can, but I won't try to exactly mirror it because I feel like I won't be able to. See, that curve's already very different. And plus, at this point, when you're just trying to even it out, it just gets. I don't know about everybody else, but to me, it becomes a chore now, Because, like, that side involved creativity, and then just mirroring it is like, oh, okay, well, this is just trying to repeat, something cool that I did or something that I liked. Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? I'm still working on this thing. And I messed up pretty bad up here in terms of the evenness. But like I said, it's a demo. It happens. I'm going to pull a thick line overall to kind of unify it, like on the outer contour of the skull itself. No matter what it runs into, I'm just going to pull a thicker contour. I think it looks nicer. I thought that straight shape would even out all the curved shapes. But I mean, we kind of add to the contrast in terms of all the curved shapes and the rest of it. And then I'm gonna add little flicks around it for smaller detail. I forgot about the. They really look like it's scrunching up a little bit. Little ticks just give it a little more like sounds crazy, but when you do little ticks like that, it kind of like people think like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing, like. And that's about it. After that, I erase all the, which I don't have an eraser with me right now, unfortunately, on me. So that's it for the demo. Please, guys, subscribe if you can. I really appreciate it. I'm going to do a whole lot more of these. And if you did like this kind of, maybe markered type skull image, let me know. And please, yeah, comment. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.